So it's not like we have a wealth of talent that we're getting necessarily. It's just we have really good culture on our team and a really good coach who knows how to build that culture. And me and Josiah push each other every day. So just having people around you that want to be the best makes you better.
That was Tayvon Kitchen today on the Running Effect podcast. And Tayvon is honestly cementing himself as one of, if not the best runner of the class of 2025. Recently, he ran 7:55 in the 3K, which broke Nico Young's 3K indoor national record. And then he backed it up, followed it up a week later by breaking 4 minutes in the mile as a guy who's not really a miler. He ran 3:59 at Boston University. Tayvon has a really cool story, really inspirational. And he's a grinder. He wants to win. He wants to be successful. And that bleeds through in this conversation. His work ethic, his mindset, his desire to be great. We break down both the 3:59 performance as well as the 7:55 performance, as well as just his journey and progression overall. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. I know you guys are going to enjoy it as well. If you do, please share it with a friend, a family member, a teammate, someone who you think would find value and benefit from it. And then the cherry on top, hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss another episode, and give us a 5-star review. Would greatly appreciate those things. With all of those notes aside, enjoy my conversation with the man, the myth, the legend, Tayvon Kitchen. Tayvon Kitchen, welcome to the Running Effect podcast. How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you? I'm glad to be on.
Really good, man. I feel like you've been on my radar. I get so many DMs, like, get Tayvon on the podcast. We're making it happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a man of the people. He's on the podcast. And this time, after breaking the 4-minute barrier, how do you feel less than a week removed from it?
Still kind of on cloud nine. It's a crazy goal. So definitely a big barrier to break.
What's crazy to me, like I've known Owen Powell for quite some time now. I know at Brooks PR his sophomore year of high school, so coming up on 2 years ago, and then had him on the podcast this past summer. He's like a miler. Like, I knew he was going to break 4 inevitably at some point, just with his 800-meter speed. You're like a 5K guy. Like, you remind me of like a Galen Rupp back in the day. Is this more meaningful because it is an off distance?
Yeah, I mean, I almost kind of surprised myself. I knew Owen was, and I knew Josiah was. I feel like they're both really good mile guys, but me, I've never really been a shorter distance guy. Always been more like 5K focused, and even like on my goals, like I wrote down goals in the summer. I didn't even have like sub 4 on my like radar really. So being able to like kind of surprise myself and go after it's super meaningful. Yeah, and I'm super happy to get it.
What would you say is your marquee distance if you had to choose one?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've come into like a lot of range now this indoor season, and I really enjoy racing all the distances. Like the mile's a lot of fun because it really just goes by super quick. You don't have to really worry about it and don't have to hurt too much. I feel like I'm better at the 5K, but I also haven't raced one in a while, so I'm a little nervous about it.
What would you say is the most painful race distance in your opinion?
I mean, I guess it depends on the race, but when you're in cross and have to run like hills and stuff in a 5K, that's probably the most painful.
You mentioned you haven't run a 5K in a minute. Is the indoor season over? Is outdoor season starting? And what's your perspective on? I know you hold a PR of 14:24. That's on borrowed time. You probably come close to that doing tempo runs. So what's your mindset on that event?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to race one. We still have New Balance Indoor Nationals, and I think I'll be racing a 5K there. So might be a chance to lower that PR. But yeah, no, it's definitely on borrowed time. It's ready to come down, and it's kind of funny that I'm a 5K guy, or I feel like I'm a 5K guy, and it's by far my like worst PR, I guess you could say.
New Balance Indoor Nationals, you mentioned participating in it. For you, is that more of an opportunity to get a national title, race some fast guys, or are records on your mind? Or is it both? Is it like you're talking with guys already and you're like, let's go out hot, whoever hangs on and wins?
I'm excited to race. I just New Balance Nationals is going to be a fun race, and I know there's lots of good guys in the 5K. So I'm sure that I don't think I'll request a pace, but I know someone will definitely try and make it fast and probably request something fast. So I'm just excited to go out there and race and see what I can do and see what people around me can do.
I think Owen was telling me in our conversation something about you guys racing a 3K, and he was just talking about your strength and how you started dropping 60s from like a K out. Would you say that's like your tactical advantage is your strength? And what would you say, not revealing all the cards, Taven, but like as you look toward this outdoor season and probably more moments where there are going to be guys with you with a lap to go in your distances, like the 2 mile specifically, what do you feel like is your like competitive advantage?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably strength, but yeah, I don't know. It's definitely like I didn't think I was much of a kicker. Like I couldn't close well at all until like recently I've been able to close a lot better and be able to win races and kicks and that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's because of my strength or if I'm like developing more speed than I had before, but I'm just as much as like everyone else. I don't really know what my advantage would be. I'm kind of just coming into that and figuring it out.
I mentioned that 14:24. What I didn't give context to is that later that evening you ran 14:31, a little double threshold session on tap. Take me through that day and those performances and how tired you were at the end of it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like a unique thing. I don't think a lot of high schoolers have done like 2 5Ks in one day. Like even I was kind of, I don't know if I should. This seems kind of odd, but yeah, no, it was super exhausting. The first 5K, I definitely wanted to run faster than 14:24. I ran 14:18 indoors at Nike Nationals 5K. And so I was like, oh, I can at least PR or run something fast. But the problem was me and another high schooler were kind of having to be in charge of pace to make that happen. So we kind of led the whole way, and the college guys just sat on us until like 800 to go and then gapped us. Wasn't my favorite race just because we kind of got taken advantage of, just glorified pacers. But I felt somewhat like good still, and I was like, okay, fine, I guess I'll do the next 5K later that evening. As time went on, I got more and more sore and more less certain that I should do it. But I stuck around, kind of had to do it, and just hopped in it and was able to run pretty fast again. So
I'm sure you're a fan of the sport and have followed the sport for at least a few years now as you've journeyed and progressed within your own pursuit of distance running. Who do you look up to within the sport, and who's a runner you maybe look back to their high school years and you're like, I want to be like them. I want to replicate their style.
um I mean, I look up to a lot of like different runners. Um, Definitely like all of the best ones in high school, like back when Galen Rupp was in high school, and uh, like even like the past few years, like my teammate like Tyrone and other people in his grade, they were really good. But I don't know. I feel like more than emulating their paths, kind of just forging my own, just try and run how I feel like I should, and um, become my own like mark on history.
Let's go back to that sub 4 performance a little bit more before closing that chapter. We did talk about what it meant to you, but diving a little bit deeper into it, what did it mean to you? At what point in the race did you know you had it in the bag, and what was the emotion like when you crossed the line?
Um, there's a video out there of like me and Josiah both coming across the line towards the end, and like he like raises his arms and like triumph, and then I come across and I like my jaw drops, and I'm just like, what? Um, at what point did I know I had it? I with a lap to go, I was like, I'm not gonna get it because we went out pretty fast. I think I probably came out like 2:58 through 1200, and that's when it hit me. I was struggling, and with a lap to go, I started getting past, and I don't know. There's like a thought flickered through my head that I was like, would I be satisfied with like 4 flat or 401? And but no, I decided to just hold on to it and try and finish through. And I looked up as I came across the line and saw that I'd gone 3:59, and it was just a great feeling. Like I was so happy to be able to hold on to it.
Would you say that's the most impressive or cherished accomplishment of your running career thus far?
It's probably the most cherished. I don't know if it's the most impressive. I think 7:55 might be more impressive than running sub 4, but it's definitely one of the most cherished just because I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself. Even my like team, I came back to school and like the whole team was like, I didn't think you could do it. I didn't think you were going to do it, Taven.
Oh, the hate.
And
Crazy guys, teammates of Tayvon. Come on.
my coach and Josiah knew that I could do it, but even myself, I had a lot of doubt. I was going to go for it with everything I had, but just being able to like overcome that doubt and actually like go sub 4, it means a lot to me.
You only get a few solid chances at a 4-minute attempt for multiple reasons. Like in the state of Oregon, you guys race 1500s. A lot of times it's hard to be in a fast mile with guys faster than you in high school. And so when you get these opportunities, like you need to capitalize on them. And I think throughout the year, something that's really unique is there are so many guys that never went sub 4 that like probably could have. Like I even think to Newberry Park, like Lex and Leo Young never broke 4, but it's like they probably were in shape to do it multiple points. Aaron Solomon was another example, and Clay Shively was another example. It's like you got to get it done on the day. And a lot of times in high school, you only have like 1 or 2 chances your senior year when you're fit enough. For you, how were you able to execute on the day, especially with maybe the added nerves knowing that I only have a few chances at this? How'd you execute?
Yeah, no, exactly like you're saying. You really only get like maybe at most 2 opportunities to really do it in high school. And there's a ton of people that were never able to do it that I think could have as well. For me, like that's the reason why we went to the race. Right after we ran the 3K, our coach was like, "We can get in a mile at BU in 6 days, and it's going to be an opportunity to go sub 4. Do you guys want to go?" And I was a little hesitant, like it was a big upfront, like cost to buy the flight and that kind of stuff. But we decided to go since you only have so many opportunities, and I'm glad I did. But execution wise, it wasn't ideal, our circumstances. Our flight didn't get into Boston. We had some delays until like 3, and we didn't get into bed till like past 3:30 a.m. And not great sleep, but you kind of have to roll with everything that's like put on you. And I don't know, I came there for a reason, and if I was going to go all the way out to Boston and put that money out there and make those sacrifices, I was going to do everything in my power to accomplish the goal I came there for. So yeah, we went there, and there wasn't a lot of reasons why I can't go sub 4. So I knew I just needed to go out there and run my best race, and I'd be perfect.
You mentioned the 3K a few times in this conversation. Walk me through that race, 7:55, break Nico Young's indoor national record. Flying, man, flying. What was that race like, and what's it like to have a national record to your name?
It's definitely a good thing to have a national record to your name. I mean, we have the DMR national record from New Balance Outdoors, and getting a national record as a team, I think, means a lot more just because you're not just running for yourself, you're running for people around you. But being able to like run that fast indoors with Josiah, he was right there too, and get a national record, it definitely means a lot. That race was a lot of fun. I was super nervous going into it just because we had some really fast people in our race, and but me and Josiah just knew we needed to get into the pack and stay calm, and then be ready for the last 1K where we can try and break it down. And I ended up running like 3rd in that race, which I'm super proud of. And then also getting the national record. It's a great feeling.
You've been, I would say, within the U.S. high school distance running scene for a minute. Like, I feel like I've known your name, but I feel like the past few months is really where you've cemented yourself. Where have you come from, I think, is a question from a lot of people's heads. And what would you attribute a lot of this recent progress to?
I attribute like basically almost all of my success to my coach and my teammates. As a freshman, I wasn't as good per se as some of the people that I'm like racing now. Like Josiah, he ran 4:09 as a freshman in the mile, and kind of had always been really good. Being in his same class, I think I ran like 4:39 as a freshman and like 17:30 in the 5K. So just having someone to look up to like Josiah in my own class, that helped me to get better. And also having a really good coach. I think our coach knows a lot of what he's doing and gives us good workouts so we can get to that level. I also have Tyrone like in a couple years above me, so someone I could also look up to and try and train like, and that kind of gave me and Josiah a benchmark to keep on getting better. Then and we knew Tyrone was one of the best in the nation, so we could surpass that level and run that fast. It would be a sign. I agree. I kind of didn't come out of like a clear spot. I kind of just came into it recently, just running faster and faster, and I think that's just an advantage of having a really good teammate to train with. It just helps me make leaps and bounds in my own training, and also having a coach that really knows what he's doing.
Simple question for you. What are they feeding you in Central Point, Oregon? What are the boys eating? Because, I mean, you said this in an interview. It's true. You guys are the two fastest teammates probably ever. And I think it's really exciting as a fan of the sport and someone who covers the sport, has the privilege of speaking with accomplished individuals like yourself. I think anticipating what you guys can do this outdoor season, you truly have the ability to cement yourself within that statement. Yeah, what are they feeding you there?
I don't know. I mean, I just eat whatever my mom makes or something, but
fair.
no.
What would you attribute this success to?
I think my coach a lot. I mean, Crater, Central Point, small area. I think we probably have like 17,000 people in Central Point, so not a huge town. Kind of a smaller school. I think maybe like a little over 1,000 kids at our school. So it's not like we have a wealth of talent that we're getting necessarily. It's just we have really good culture on our team and a really good coach who knows how to build that culture. And me and Josiah push each other every day. So just having people around you that want to be the best makes you better. Like you're the average of like the 5 people closest to you or something. And I think that's exactly true for our school. Just having people so talented and people so driven makes you automatically become better.
What does the training look like day to day? Take me through like a Sunday through Saturday.
Yeah, we do like long runs on Saturday. Sunday's usually like an easier day. Sometimes I don't run Sundays, sometimes I do. But usually shorter mileage. Monday, right now we're kind of like it depends on like the phase you're in, but right now Monday is usually just like easier mileage. Tuesday we'll do like a hill workout, and Wednesday today is going to be easier, just like a double and like an easier run. And Thursday I think we might hop on the track and do like a ladder or something smaller. And Friday's also easy.
When you're doing mile workouts, is Josiah carrying you? And when you're doing like 5K workouts, are you carrying Josiah? And what's it like? What's the energy like in these workouts?
So I'm kind of like the typical like pacer, maybe not pacer, but the person who leads workouts or tempos. Like when we do tempos, I'm like pacing him usually. Josiah has like this thing where he doesn't really wear his watch ever. I mean, it works great to not wear your watch when you have someone who's also running what you're doing wearing a watch. If he didn't have like me doing the workouts, I don't know what he'd do. But so I'm in charge of pace and that kind of stuff usually when we're doing tempos. And when we're on the track, we trade leads like every rep. Usually unless like another teammate's doing part of the rep with us. But yeah, no, when we do speed work, I get thrashed by Josiah and some other teammates. So that's one thing that I'm like super proud of though. Like recently I've kind of came into a bit of speed that I hadn't had before. Like I'm able to keep up with them a little bit more in like speed workouts, or if we do like an all out 2 or something like that, I'm able to hold a little bit closer than I was before. And that's something that makes me happy. But outside of that, I do a lot of the like leading, and if we're doing like a track workout, then we just trade lead.
Was there a workout you did leading into this mile attempt that gave you the confidence that you could go sub 4?
I don't really think so. The biggest thing that gave me confidence to go sub 4 was 7:55, running that in the 3K, just because I feel like to an extent, 8-minute 3K and 4-minute mile, they're not really comparable, but to an extent they are. Like they're similar barriers. So being able to run that far under 8 minutes in the 3K made me feel like I was able to run sub 4. But in terms of workouts, um, yeah, I don't know, just being able to hold on to Josiah more and like in that speed work and that kind of stuff. In like mile workouts, we do like 400s or that kind of thing. I'm able to be closer to Josiah at like all out effort. Just made me feel a lot more confident about my speed.
In terms of like viewing a 5K this year, the 7:55 I think is very indicative of what you can do, as well as like an off event like the mile running 3:59. Do you think you'll have a chance to pull a Danny Simmons and like go for broke? Is that what you want to do? And what's your perspective on this outdoor season, how you're crafting it, and some things you want to accomplish before hanging up the Crater High School jersey?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't raced a 5K since I've like in a while at least. So I'm very nervous about racing a 5K. It's a big jump from 3K to 5K. But I'm super excited to do it. I feel like I can run really fast. I think 7:55 is indicative of a great 5K time. In my like college races, I've been ahead of or nearby to people who have ran super fast 5K times. So I think that I'm capable of running really fast in the 5K. As fast as Danny Simmons per se, I don't know. He was on a whole nother level his senior year. I think he really showed out. But I would love to get in fast heats, get into like college races and that kind of stuff in the 5K, and kind of just get drugged through fast times.
When you think about your outdoor season, I did kind of ask you this, but spinning it another way to get your perspective and get a look inside your mindset. What are some of the things that you want to accomplish this season, even races you want to run, experiences you want to have before leaving high school?
Specific races, I'm looking forward to the Jesuit mile. Like after running sub 4, I'm looking forward to that. I know Josiah and Owen will be there, and I'll be there. So at least 3 sub 4 milers in 1 mile race kind of seems like a lot of fun. But I'm also looking forward to just races in general. Like if I can get, I know PTF is where like Tyrone ran there, and Danny Simmons ran the 5K record there, and lots of people have ran faster before. I believe that Hobbs Kessler ran his 3:35 there. So getting into like a fast race at that against pro fields would be a lot of fun. I think I can get a fast time that way. But overall, I think the most exciting race to me right now is the Jesuit Mile.
During your day-to-day training and dedication to the sport, what would you say motivates you these days?
Motivation has to be internal in order for you to really get anywhere. I think that's something that can't be coached and can't be like pounded into someone. If someone's really like internally motivated, they just want to be the best that they can be, they will make that happen no matter what. So for me, I'm very motivated by my own goals and my own like passion for the sport. I'm always getting out there and getting my doubles in and making sure that I'm running on par to what I want to achieve. And I think when you kind of think or picture yourself as like, this is what I want to be this fast and do these things, you realize kind of the things that kind of person would do. Like with Danny Simmons, I don't know, eat a bag of Sour Patch Kids the night before his race or something. Probably not, but just like make sure you're doing the right things, and that'll help you, I don't know, run well.
When you think to your future in the sport, what are your dreams and ambitions, and what are some things you want to do one day?
I just want to take this running, like, I don't know, see how far I can go. Because as a freshman, I wasn't super great. I ran fast, and every year I've gotten like a lot better. And it just makes me excited if I can stick to my trajectory that I think I can make it really far. But like dreams and ambitions, I just take it as far as I can. If that's the Olympics or going pro or just running well in college, that's where I want to go.
Final question for you, final serious question. For those who have listened to this conversation, look up to you, what would be the final takeaway message that you want to leave with the audience today?
Yeah, I don't know. Just probably believe in yourself, like believe that you can reach those goals, and just be consistent, be patient. That's another thing. I think like it doesn't have to happen today. Like you'll run races and you won't reach your goals. Um, you'll do workouts and you'll fail. You'll have a terrible workout. It's just how it is. But if you consistent and keep on trying for those things and kind of push past the struggles, you'll be successful in the end.
Final question for you. The question I ask every guest on every single podcast. If you had Gordon Ramsay coming over to your house for dinner, what would you choose to make for him?
I would say probably crepes. Like I make a pretty good crepe, so like
Okay.
I'd cook up a nice plate of crepes with some like strawberries and some berry toppings, and I don't know, something like that. But the meal that I make the most often is probably just like, this is gonna sound weird, but Parmesan and rice. You just make rice and then you put some Parmesan in it, and it's really good. And I don't think anyone knows about
Interesting.
that.
I
No
don't
one
know
eats
about
that.
that.
You gotta
I feel
try it.
like
It's
that would
good.
be extra good if you put a hot sauce on it. I'm not sure if you're a spice guy.
It probably would. I haven't tried that, but it probably would.
Add some spice to it. I don't know. Of Parmesan and rice. Okay. You got your carbs there. You ran
Yeah,
7:55, so I'm
exactly.
not gonna debate you. Meal champions right there. Tayvon, really appreciate the conversation. I'll let you get to class. Thanks so much for taking the time to chop it up. Insights from your story. Appreciate all the things you're doing, and so excited to see what you'll do this outdoor season. Keep crushing it, brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.